welcome to an episode of Eternal Connection on blogtalkradio.com. Today we will be talking about a second thought, which we will explore the ideas of the ways we think and the thoughts that are offered, and if we give it a second thought or not. If you haven't listened to the show before, my name is Daniel Feint. I'll be the host of the show for the next, 13, 14 minutes. I just do 15-minute segments on Blog Talk Radio, and I record them ahead of time so that I can just upload the file and stream it, and it's all good. So anyway, I like to think of myself as a philosopher, an artist, a poet. I paint with acrylics, different patterns and such things. I've written a whole bunch of poetry and written a whole bunch of books. If you want to check out my work, you can search Daniel Feint, F-E-I-N-D-T, on Google, and you'll see a whole bunch of listings. These podcasts are free. You can get them on iTunes or download them through blogtalkradio.com. Let's see, what else? I just released Unlock the Paradox, which is a whole collection of writing from the past 10 years, and it's a hard copy book available on lulu.com. Probably on Amazon soon, so if you want to check that out. But let's get into the topic. Let's see. So the title of the show is called A Second Thought, where there is an expression, I haven't given it a second thought. I don't know if you've heard that expression before, but I have, and it's an interesting expression. So what the show is going to explore is the idea of when we give something a second thought, there is a good chance, if we allow it to, that we will give it a third, a fourth, a fifth, and so on. By the same way, if we don't give something a second thought, we can allow a new thought to emerge that we may or may not want to give a second thought to. The analogy I propose could be thought in two ways that I can come up with. If we take a step down a certain path, then add more and more steps to it, we will eventually be taken somewhere to an experience of where this will take us. The underlying question is, with the thoughts that are offered, do we really want to go down that road? Of course, contrast is needed. Say, for example, if there's a fork in the road, we have the ability and the opportunity to know what we want and what we don't want, and what direction in life we want to head in, what kind of experience we want to have. However, oftentimes by habitual thinking patterns or cultural ways that we've brought up, we sort of go into default mode, and we can fall into ways that it's always going to go about things the same way. What I'm suggesting is to be mindful of each thought and ask the question, do I want to give this a second thought? I find it interesting in my current life, my day-to-day living, that there's also gratitude, which is something I want to give a second thought to. There's characteristics of the thoughts that we can choose, whether to be grateful or ungrateful. And I find that if and when my day is drudging along, I just think, you know what, I am grateful to live the day-to-day and all the things that there is to be thankful for. I created a gratitude box where I'm trying to put little pieces of paper in with things that I'm grateful for, just a symbolic ceremony, which is something you could do if you wanted to. Also, I've been journaling, which sort of helps process the menu of life that life offers as to what we want and what we don't want. I'm thankful that I can read and write. I mean, there's people that are unable to do that, and it's a very valuable tool to be able to read other people's ideas and to write our own ideas down, to process. But I believe words have a lot of power behind them, and there's been experiments where words have been put on bottles of water, and the water actually crystallizes in different ways depending on the words that are put on the bottles. So it just proves or is observed actually, that words do have an effect on our outside environment and the world itself and reality itself. So, I don't know, just to recap, we're about, 5-6 minutes into the show, but what do you truly want in life? What do I want in life? What don't you want in life? So these are things that we could give a second thought to. I think that it's important to recognize while we have this opportunity of a world of contrast, to take advantage of the idea that we do have, to a certain extent, a good amount of intention behind what we're doing in life and the ways that we can create or guide ourselves. Now we can get into the whole other idea of, if you believe in a spiritual system, the unseen guidance, the synchronicities, the ways that things just sort of happen like clockwork sometimes, or the grace that's given in tough times, where things just work out at the last minute. Don't know how it happens, but that we've gotten this far, and things are overall just will work out one way or the other, because it always does in some way. I don't know, that gets into the idea of everything happening for a reason. I like to believe that. Sort of gives me hope, and in a knowing that everything's going to be okay, and that there's a reason for me doing what I'm doing. So yeah, those are just a few thoughts. As per usual, I've written down some notes for this show, and I actually went through them in the first 3 minutes of the show, and it's a 13-14 minute segment, so I'm kind of just ad-libbing right now and just throwing out ideas. I don't know exactly the best way to explain things at times, but hopefully you can just, even if you listen to the first 5 minutes of the show, got the idea of what we're all capable of in this world and in this life. And I believe it's continuous. This life is finite, of course. Our body is finite as far as the vessel that we have to interact with, space and time. I believe we will leave our body, and it'll be whether a higher dimension of reality or a spiritual dimension of reality, an energetic dimension of reality, but otherwise known as heaven, some people think of it as. But let's see. Okay, here we go again. I'm going to test the theory. The theory being, right now I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit concerned about the ways that I'm going to be able to make an interesting and enjoyable and informative radio program today. But those are all thoughts. And it's interesting how I toggle back and forth to an optimistic or a pessimistic way of thinking about things. That's why I'm exploring this, because I want to give a second thought to thoughts of courage and confidence and that everything's going to be okay, rather than the thoughts of things not working out, I have bad luck, life is a struggle all the way through. I sort of want to let go of that and follow the thoughts that will truly bring me to the experiences that I want to live in. So basically we're looking at about 10 minutes into the show now. Let's see. Okay, so I'll recap the idea of the title of the show, which is a second thought, and the expression, I haven't given it a second thought. So that's sort of the idea of letting go, and letting go of what we don't want. Sometimes even letting go of what we do want, giving up on dreams and processes of accomplishing the things we do want. But the things we do give a second thought to will take us down a path to the third and fourth and fifth and so on thoughts that sort of build momentum in that direction. Let's see. So I just urge people to be mindful of what kind of path and what kind of experience they want to have. This is something that I'm trying to figure out and learn and do my best with as well. Again, you have been listening to the Eternal Connection Show on blogtalkradio.com. The free podcasts are available on iTunes. Just search Daniel Feint, F-E-I-N-D-T, or Eternal Connection, and you'll see my ebook and the audio of my book, Eternal Connection. I'm designing a site. I will announce the domain name of the site when it's complete. So it's part of it's online now, but it's sort of a lot of it's incomplete. So there's no point in going there now. Anyway, I guess we're about 12 minutes into the show. So I will wrap up with, as always, wishing everybody that's tuning in and listening to this all the best. I know that we can do this. We can have a really good life experience, and together we can work to help each other, and because we're all in this together in life. I believe we're all interconnected in some way. That's why I like the term Eternal Connection. And so whoever is listening to this, wherever you're listening to it, whenever you're listening to it, I just appreciate the fact of you being here with me, and have a really good day, night, evening, whatever, and hopefully I'll come up with some sort of conceptual idea to talk about on another radio program later. Okay, well, take care.